What's going on, guys? As currently the day is August 10th. It's 7:45 right now. And what you just see is kind of my morning breakfast, and then I just wrapped up some soccer with the guys here. So I like to do soccer, once a weekend with the guys if our schedules align. And most of the time it's in the mornings, but right now it's evening time. And honestly, if you live in Houston, it honestly feels great right now. We got a nice breeze. Saw a little thunderstorm happening while we were playing. It was cool while it was sunny on the outside. And also too, it's we had a little drizzle coming out, so it was nice. But yeah, it's funny. A lot of people think you play soccer, and it's shocking for me myself too, because I would never thought I'd ever play soccer in my entire life. And the reason was because this is too much running. And also too, I always thought it was boring. Thought it was boring watching it, thought it was boring playing it. Until one of the gym members at my gym that I work at came and said hey, why don't you come play? Give it a try. So I was like, yeah, I'll give it a try. After that first time, it was kind of fun. I enjoyed it. Then over time, it's kind of funny. Past 7 months now, I've been playing soccer, and I enjoy it. Now I kind of look at it as my little fun cardio. I'm not even thinking about it. I'm just running around, kicking the ball, having time with the guys. That's also too. It's it kind of brings out my inner child. It's I used to do this shit all the time as a young kid. I used to play basketball. I used to do baseball. I used to do kickball. I used to do. Fucking kick the can, all these games as a child, and just come out here, 6 o'clock on a Sunday, it pretends you almost got school night, you get this nice breeze, you hang out with the guys right before school starts. It's it brings out the inner child, and it's fun. And also too is you get to spend time with quality people. You get to spend time, socializing, shooting shit, roasting, having fun, all the good times, right? And that's what life is really about. And I think we kind of just get so sucked up now. It's we're so changed, especially if you're around my age, 27, you born in the 90s, early 2000s, you kind of get, we grew up in a time, it was you didn't really have technology phones and much TV, television. You just kind of go outside, just hang out with people, ride bikes, you did all that. So I think it's just kind of a shame now that we shifted in this direction where it's we're too busy, when we just want to sit down, lay down, not do anything. We just want to waste that energy, mind, just don't doom scrolling, watching television. And I think it's just there's more to it and to life than just doing these things with technology. Technology is great, but I think it's just also too being around people, doing activities. That's more better fun in life. So that's kind of my 2 cents, with soccer and just life. But I do that once a week for the most part. I enjoy doing my cardio. Also too, it's kind of interesting. You never see a big dude playing soccer, because most of the guys are very they're thin. They're weigh 180, 185 is the average. So you see a jack dude playing soccer is kind of unusual, but I enjoy it for the most part. Whew, I don't know where to begin, because it's crazy. Also too with life, you just don't know where the journey's gonna take you. You just don't know the pathway that it's gonna take you. And what I mean by that is you just gotta live in the present moment. You just gotta do the habits, you gotta do the tasks that you need to do. And that unforeseeable future, whether that's gonna come to you, is gonna lead you to that right direction. And that's a part of the unknown journey. Yeah, it's scary. It's supposed to be scary because you don't know what the future is gonna be. And if you didn't know the future, it's what fun is there to it? There won't be, because you already knew the answer, right? But that's what makes the future, that's what makes the journey so unknown and so scary, but also at the same time so fun, is because you just don't know what the outcomes are gonna be. And for me personally, and this is gonna be my last week of cut. I know I'm documenting this as an 8-week cut, but I was kind of talking with my mentors, just talking with him and chatting him up, just saying hey, what do you think of where I'm at? And he's honestly, man, you're already lean as fuck right now. It's what we just need to do is just need to build. And I agree with him on that, to be honest, because I cut, when I did my first cut, I did that back in end of September. Did that for 8 weeks, went all the way to November, and then I body recomp for 7 months. And that's the reason I'm kind of also doing cut, was to show you, in case you guys, that calorie deficit is just a tool to utilize. But just looking at, the way the process is, looking back these last 4 weeks and how smoothly everything has gone, man, I can't complain about it. And you guys know me, I've done these food challenges too. This past Friday, I just did Taco Bell, 1 crunch wrap and 15 tacos in 12 minutes. So I'm like, and just to see my body respond so well after these cheat meals, like I only gained 2 to 3 pounds on average after each cheat meal. And the way like my body was responding, the way that my body is like adapting to the deficit, and the way just everything is just working, it's just amazing. And that's the thing, is like you just don't know what's gonna happen. Like you just gotta keep putting the work, you just gotta keep doing things, you just gotta keep getting after it. Because at the end of the day, you know that work's gonna pay off. And for me, it's been paying off right now. And I'm excited to bulk. I'm also kind of a little nervous, I ain't gonna lie to you, because like in the past when I'm done bulking, I just done it the wrong way. And you know, let myself go so many times. But this time, it's not gonna be like that. This time I already have a plan in place. I know exactly what's working. You know, I go based off my 6 principles, right? I know my foods, I know my numbers, I know my training, I know my steps, I know my hydration, I know my recovery. I know my 6 principles, and those are my foundation that allows me to do what I do, allows me to have my cheat meals, allows me to keep getting stronger while being calorie deficit, allows me to get leaner, allows me to do all these things, right? So with that being said, I'm excited for the bulk because, man, dude, right now, I woke up my lowest at 233.9, and that was 2 days after my cheat meal, right? I woke up this morning, 233.9. Now, granted, too, I think it was a lot of water weight because I went to the pool. I also, you know, worked out, and I also did my incline walk later that night, you know, right before bed too. So I think it was a lot was water retention, you know, decreasing water, but we'll see how tomorrow morning goes, see where the weight is at, but I don't think I'll be more than like 234 to be honest. So, you know, last week I was at 236.2, and you know, Friday morning I was 235.3, so we lost another pound. And I cut my calories by 250 calories as well. So, you know, once I get back to my crib, I'll showcase you guys my new meal plan of how I eliminated or how I decreased my calories by 250 and what my meals look like. But with that being said, I'm excited for this bulk. Like I can't wait because like I'm probably gonna push 245, 250, and at the same time too, like I'm still eating about 3,350 calories, right? And I'm like, damn, if I go in this bulk, it'd be like 5,000 plus calories, and it's gonna be dumb crazy. I ain't gonna lie to you, it's gonna be dumb crazy going this bulk. And what I'll probably do is I'll probably do this for about 6 or 7 months of bulking, and you know, we'll go from there. We reassess how we're looking. Probably do this till about March. I'll do this probably till about April. You know, get cut again, and then we'll just go from there. But I mean, honestly, it's like when you do the 6 principles right, and when you have that foundation down, like you just go through cycles of seasons. And you know, I've done my cycle season of cutting before. I've done my cycle season of body recomping, and you know, I'm in a small season of cutting right now. But you know, I haven't really bulked in a long time, so it's definitely the season for me to start bulking and put on some size, put on some growth. So I'm excited for that. So yeah, so you know, and also too, I did like, wow, I also got great news about me going back into bulk. I also had like bad news. I tweaked my back Tuesday, you know, working out and doing some legs. It was so crazy because I was just like, I was doing RDLs. You know, I do that movement so many times, and you know, I was doing 420. It was my last set. I unracked it. I take 2 steps walking back, and I just felt like, you know, a pinch inside my lower back, and I just like, yep, that was it for right there. And then the rest of the workout, like I still finished it. You know, I modified it. Like I still did like my rest of the workouts. I just had to modify some exercises based on how my lower back feel. And you know, it's definitely sore, but I was glad because I also got a massage later that day. Thank God, because if I didn't, I probably won't be as good right now. So it lasted for at least a couple days. For sure. About Friday was starting to get better, and Saturday was like, you know, it was good. I worked out, and Sunday was like no problem. Playing soccer too, not really feeling it while I was kicking the ball, running or anything. It was like, all right, cool, we're back to normal. So, but it's like, you know, it's part of lifting. You know, you're gonna have some tweaks, and you're not gonna understand. Like you could like do all these what is, like, you know, what if you did this or what if you did that. It's like you just never know the reason. To be honest, like your body sometimes just tweaks on its own, you know, and you just can't do nothing about it. But, you know, that was a small little setback. You know, it wasn't like, you know, on Saturday wasn't the greatest workout because I just wanted, like, I was just more cautious of it. I just didn't want to really, you know, re-injure myself. So Saturday was a great workout. Did mostly hamstrings. Also, too, I'll be showcasing you guys after probably this week my new workout routine because I'm going to be switching out to focus more on targets of what I need to do to build and grow. So stay tuned for that down the road. And other than that, yeah, like everything's just going well. Like, and that's the thing, guys, like, you know, it's not that complicated. Like, you see me, like, I'll showcase as I go on too, like how simple I keep things, you know, how simple I keep my nutrition, how simple I keep cooking my meals, how simple, you know, I just go about my meals. And like when I do my cheat meals, I just hop back right on. It's like, that's all you really need to do. It's like, there's not much more complication to it. And unfortunately, you know, this is what the information is pushed to, is like, it just makes it more complicated. It's like, at the end of the day, you just gotta find what works for you. Like, what works for me, like having my same meals, like, you know, my same workout splits, my same, you know, incline walking early in the morning, like all that schedule and routine and regimen that I do, it works for me. It works for my lifestyle. And that's something you just have to find out for yourself, is just finding what works for your lifestyle. Everybody's got different jobs. Everybody's got different, you know, chapters of life. Something, you might have a spouse, you might have, you know, you might be married, have some kids, you know, you might have a little bit more responsibility, but you know, at some point in life, like, you still have to own up to your own choices. You have to own up to your own standards, to the point where like you have to take matter into your own hands, and like you got to revamp your lifestyle. And again too, what you did back in the past doesn't have to be the same right now, whatever your current situation is. All you just gotta do is just figure out, like, if you only can work out 3 times because that's what your schedule allows you to, hey, so be it. You can still grow from 3 times a week. Just make sure, you know, your nutrition is on point 85% of the time. And that's all it really is. I mean, there's nothing much into it. And again, you gotta understand who the person you are. You know, you're the person like to have the same meals, or are you the person that's got change up your meals like every 2 or 3 days? And how that is, you just gotta, you know, you just gotta look at it. And at the end of the day, like, your nutrition, like the fitness journey, it's just all science and math. Like, the science just comes with experiments, trials and tribulations, trials and errors. Keep testing out what you like. Keep testing out what doesn't work for you. Keep testing out what you don't like. Keep experimenting. Once you do, then that's when the math comes, because then you have all the data you need, and you just tweak a little bit here, tweak a little bit there, and it's like, that's all it is. And that's as simple as it gets, man. There's not much more complication to it. So reality is like, you know, fitness is simple, nutrition is simple, working out is simple. It's just, you gotta tailor it to your lifestyle. And you know, you start by scheduling yourself out, blocking it out, you know, what's your non-negotiables, you know, when you go work out, when you go meal prep, grocery shop, you know, all those things come into play too. So again, you gotta set your standards high. You gotta take matters in your own hands. You gotta own up to your choices, man, at the end of the day. So other than that, I'm gonna wrap this up. I'm gonna get back, I'm gonna get cleaned up, I'm gonna get my smoothie in. I saved that towards the end because I know it's very light, heavy, high in protein, high in carbs, especially since I was gonna be outside playing. That was gonna be the best suitable meal for me too. So I'm gonna go home, clean up, get that in, and then, like I said, I'll showcase you guys my new meal plan, what the 3350 calories look like, me being another 250 calorie deficit. I'll see you guys then. All right, after getting cleaned up, having a smoothie, talked to my mom for a little bit. Here we are. Here's the meal plan for the last week here. As I mentioned earlier, calories is 3341. Protein, it's gonna be 232. Carbs is 429, and fats is 71. Now, before I get into it, again, it depends on how much. Again, it goes back to principle number 2, is knowing your numbers. You guys are going to look at these carbs, it's like, yo, how are you still having that much carbs, and you know, you're still losing body fat? Again, at the end of the day, carbs is not the enemy. And also too, is because I know my numbers. I know what my body needs on a day-to-day basis to feel it. Also too, is when I go in a deficit, I know how to tweak my carbs to get myself right, to get myself leaner by manipulating the numbers. Again, hence, going back to what I said earlier, is why calorie deficit is only a tool, because again, from what I said earlier, you do a lot of science in the beginning, you do a lot of experimental, but then once you get the experiment done, then the math comes into play, and again, you start tweaking the numbers. Pretty simple. So that's all it is, really. And yes, you can have that much numbers, again, depending on what your goals are, depending on your body, depending on your training. Again, at the end of the day, you just gotta know yourself, you gotta know what your body is capable, and you gotta also to know like what your plan is capable as well. Anyways, so as you can see here, I didn't really switch up many of my meals. From, if you look at the back of the first video I made, going to start my cut, this is all the same meals that I've been having from since I first started my cut all the way up to this last week here. Now the only difference is going to be my meals 1, 3, and 4 are the only difference maker. And so when I first started, I was having 4 ounces of rice. Now I'm down to 3 ounces of rice. For meal 3, you know, I started with 6 ounces of rice. Now I'm down to 5. And then for meal 4, I was up at 5.5. Now I'm down to 4.5. Meal 5 is the same. Meal 2 is the same here. So really, there's not much more difference in terms of my meals. The only difference is I just cut back on my rice to even out the amount of calories I needed. Keep my protein. The protein goes down too, just because rice has protein. So it just decreases along with it, but I'm still keeping relatively high based on just making sure I'm full, but also to making sure that I'm getting enough protein to, again, since you're being in deficit, to supply the muscle mass and also to recover the muscle mass. And also too, is like the only thing, again, the only manipulation of 250 calories from 3,600 or pretty much 3,592 to 3,341, which is mostly just carbs. And I lost about 60 grams of carbs right there. So that's the only difference maker I did in my meals, was to reduce my rice intake on meals 1, meals 3, and meals 4. And it's pretty simple. That's pretty much it. And lately, thankfully, that my strength is still going up because, you know, with a thorough workout plan and a thorough nutrition plan, it breeds success. And, you know, with the right plan, the right habits, that also breeds success. So, again, at the end of the day, it's not much more complicated than this. It's pretty much it. Again, I'm having the same meals. I just manipulate the numbers, and that's all you really need to do. Again, it's not that complicated. It's very simple. You just need to know what your plan looks like. You need to know how to schedule it. You need to know how to know your numbers. Again, you just need to know the 6 principles. And that's pretty much it. I mean, like I said, when I started to go bulking, pretty much what I'll do first is I'll go back to my original calories, which when I first started was at 3,900. Now I slowly increase my calories, just foreshadow for you guys. And then after that, is I'll probably keep my protein the same. Again, the protein will get increased a little bit just based off, you know, adding a little bit extra fats, but also to adding the rice, but also to I'll increase my fats up to 90 grams. And after that, my carbs is gonna skyrocket. You know, I'll probably be having 600 or 700 grams of carbs as I go into bulking. But that's pretty much it. I may manipulate the meals, like for meal 5, like I probably won't keep potatoes in anymore because I don't need that. I don't need to reduce the calories anymore. I really don't need that low amount of carbs for the last meal. I probably push those carbs into the earlier meals to, you know, maximize the pre and the post workout style. And I'll change it probably to more of a fattier type, higher protein, higher fat, vegetable type meal going to bedtime as well. So that'll be the shift. And then also too, everything else will be pretty much about the same. It's just all about manipulating the numbers. So this is gonna be it. This is my last week of my cut. This is my meal plan. Again, I just dropped 250 calories. Again, the only difference was the carbs. So other than that, I'm kind of excited. This is gonna be the last week. And you know, with being this little 250 cut, I can really feel the difference a little bit. I'm starting to get hungry faster. I kind of know my energy is starting to, you know, tweak a little bit going the other direction, but that's the normal. Again, calorie deficit is supposed to be hard. You know, the hunger starts to involve, the low energy starts to involve a little bit. You know, the training might not go as the way you want to. That's all hard and that's part of the process, but we just got one more week and we just make things happen. So other than that, that's a wrap for my meal plan. That's a wrap for this week's week 4 recap. And other than that, folks, keep getting jack and tan. I'll catch you guys next week.